We're going to be talking about constraints in about 45 minutes or so once we go through this, but I really like to go through this first because it's basically the skeleton of your business and you know exactly what to focus on. Sounds good? Yes, no? Sweet, cool. So I always like to define event space specifically because you guys are probably wondering like, oh my God, like I don't see any 10,000 square foot venues and things of that nature in event space leads. No, because that's what we focus on. We focus on our niche, right? And our niche specifically is micro event space, which is sub 4,000 square feet or 120 people standing, right? You might see a couple venues in event space leads that have like 150, 200, whatever the case may be, but it's very, very rare, right? It's very, very rare. And I'll tell you right now that 9 times out of 10, they're probably only accommodating up to that many people, right? So the first phase is the foundation phase, which some of you might still be in, some of you might be going towards, whatever the case may be. Typically with the foundation phase, you are a solopreneur, right? You don't have to worry about hiring all these different people because that's just not the level you're at right now, right? This is very, very key. You're focusing on one offer. In the roadmap, it says 3 offers, right? Done with you, do it yourself, and done for you. Cool, that's at full scale. At this level, and if you want to get to the level of $10,000 a month, you really only just need to focus on one offer. 4 $2,500 packages every single Saturday. That's your 10K month right there, right? This is preferably the done with you package. Who remembers the done with you packages, right? What's the done with you package? Oh, I thought you was a good girl.
Done with you, tables, chairs, table linen, centerpiece, uplining, and then they can bring in extra decor.
Right, exactly. So it's inventory, right? Things that you own only. And this is a really, really key thing simply because a lot of times people want to outsource all these different things and you really don't need to, right? You have your starter pack, which is in the roadmap and all that good stuff, right? So the reason that the done with you is so important at this level is because it's the highest profitability package. It's the highest cash collected. You might not know that because obviously you haven't run the numbers yet, or if you have, whatever the case may be, right? But it's highest cash collected and highest value. When you're selling that package, it's very easy to sell, hey, look, listen, you wanna pay $3,000 and everything's done for you? Cool. Right? It's very affordable, it's very easy to sell, and the reason that you want to focus on one offer is because you want to get into that repetition, right? You don't want to be stumbling on it's the reason like when y'all join ESE, it's not like we said, hey, we have ESE 2.0, we have ESE 5X. No, it's just ESE, right? It becomes much easier to sell, right? So with that being said, like I mentioned, this is an inventory only package with little to no items outsourced. This is not a package that you want to be paying for something every single time. You want this to be your highest cash collected package. This is how you make your business a lot more profitable from the front end, right? Like, and I believe when we were talking, right, one of the biggest packages, I know you sold a couple of the full scale decor packages, but most of them with the done with you, right? Right, and you don't have to really outsource those because it's all in-house, right? 100%, 100%, right? It's a lot easier to deal with when you only have your stuff to deal with, right? And here's the key thing, right? Because I know a lot of times people say, oh my God, but can I help? Hey, yep. No, that's what you. Go ahead. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. But you can always downsell, right? You can always downsell, right? So I know a lot of times people might say, oh my God, what if somebody just wants the venue only? That's fine, but you don't lead with that. You lead with the done with you package simply because that's a higher cash collected package. And believe me, once you get into the realm, and we're talking about this a little bit later, when you're doing your style shoots and the venue's fully decorated, they're gonna want that package anyway. They're gonna walk in and they're gonna say, like, I remember when we went to Tommy's venue and the whole thing was decorated, he had the mirrors, everything. Like, I'm not thinking about the venue only at this point because I see what the venue looks like and you're telling me that you offer this and you do this. Okay, cool, I want that, right? But the thing about it is that don't worry if they don't take it because you can always downsell, right? If they say, oh my God, I don't want to spend that budget or whatever. Me personally, first and foremost, if it's a budget issue, I would rather take, and this is why it's so important to have it inventory only, I would rather take, if it's a $3,000 package, $2,500, $2,700, or whatever the case may be. We'll talk about contingencies in just a second, but I would rather take that than downsell them to a $1,000 or $1,500 venue only. It's just more cash collected in the business. And when we talk about ads and whatnot, you'll see how important that is, right? Number 2, one marketing system, right? A book that I absolutely love is Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson, one of the greatest books I've ever read on business. And he talks about when you are starting your business, literally up until the $1 million level, and it's Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson. One of the biggest things he talks about is one offer, one marketing system, 1-1-1, right? So at this level of the foundation phase, and I see this problem happen so often, where people want to do all these different lead generation tactics. Oh my God, I'm going to run Google ads, I'm going to run YouTube, I'm going to run TikTok, I'm going to run Yelp. First and foremost, don't fall into the trap of Yelp because they're going to push your business for the first month and they're going to cut it down. Like, I've been there, done that, right? So typically you want to focus on one marketing system Typically, we like to focus on reels, like organic content, which is why we came up with the content engine. And you can start with third-party booking sites just to list, not to rely on. So I'm talking Pure Space, Placer, things of that nature. Sorry, Gigster, because Placer got shut down. But you want to just list it on these. And then we talk about ads. We'll talk about ads in just a little bit, right? So I'm not going to spend too much time on this because we have the event venue content system, which I don't think we're talking about today, but we'll talk about it if we need to, right? But anybody familiar with this? The 4 buckets of the content system? No? Cool, let's go through it, right? So there's 4 specific types of content that you want to be posting when you're doing organic content, right? We have day in the life, which is behind the scenes. So that's you going to Home Depot, that's you going ahead and signing your lease, that's you going ahead and talking to your contractor, your landlord, whatever the case may be. Number 2, we have live events, right? So while you have an event, I know, and when we were talking, she had a video of like people just enjoying themselves. People want to see that. People want to see the actual venue being used, right? It shows credibility, it shows authority, right? 3, move that.
What's going on, guys? Brian here. So I'm so sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to take this time to remind you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps push the video forward so we can get it out to more viewers like you that could really utilize this information. So if you could just take 2 seconds, there'll be a button right below, right next to my name that says subscribe. If you could just go ahead and do that, that's my only ask. That's the only thing I'm asking for. It just really helps the team. It just lets us know that the videos that we're going out are good quality and that they're really helping people. All right, so please do me a quick favor. Hit subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Back to the video.
3, we have event setups. That's the most powerful one. That is the most powerful one. Event setups are your most powerful one. We're Sharonda. I know Sharonda does really well at those. She'll go ahead, she'll show the entire setup of the venue and things of that nature, and it gets a lot of engagement. Why? Because people want to see the process. It's kind of like HGTV, right? When people are building the house and you're like, oh my God, like they put the porcelain tile, and then when you see the house is all finished, like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Number 4, trends and skits. This one's kind of hit or miss. Right? Trends are not hit, it's more hit than miss, but it's hit or miss because you can't really control how well the trend is going to be doing. So like, you know, when you see like those funny sound bites or things of that nature, you can go ahead and like basically incorporate them into your venue. Like I remember there was this one trend that was like, ooh, ah, like a baby shower, and I put it in my venue and it got a lot more engagement because they were pushing that at that time. Right? That's why I say it's hit or miss, because it's more so like a trend. It's hot right now, but you want to capitalize on that, right? Cool. When it comes down to content, 3 to 5 times a day. Yes, a day. It's not that complicated. We post across Event Space Elites probably 3 times a day on my page. I'm like, man, I'm doing something different with my page right now. But when my team was running it, we had another 3 times a day. You two, we post every single day. So if we can do it, y'all can do it. 100%, right? And let me tell you like why it's so powerful. And do you mind if I share a couple numbers? Okay, so I was looking at the numbers. So for those who don't know, like we have the content engine, things of that nature that we just recently released where we do all the content stuff. I did not want to release this, but people were being lazy with content, so we released it. 1,800% increase in engagement. 1,800%. I don't know if you know that. Did you see it?
I saw like when we first kicked off and started, but no, I didn't really know it was that much. Yeah.
1,800%.
How involved in social media were you before?
I was doing my own, but I wasn't doing like the 3 a day. I was pretty much like a couple times a week. I tried the 3 a day. It was driving me nuts. I found it hard because to edit it and stuff like that. And I was teaching myself how to do it at the time. So I found it, pretty difficult to kind of keep up with everything else. So I would get some good engagement, but then when I fell off and I didn't post for a while, if I had something going on, then it would decline. So then when I started using ESC to do it, then it was at a point where I was like, well, I'm gonna get some help, so I stopped posting. So when they kicked in, it kind of drove it back up again. So just to add on to that, the biggest reason that we came up with the content engine, and this is not to sell content engine, we're not here for that right now, but the thing about it is that exactly what Ann said, you will see ebbs and flows in your business when you are ebbing and flowing with your content. I swear, like, as God is my witness, I see it. So when Brian is on and like, I'm like really like pushing my content, 2 million views a month on just Instagram, 2 million. When I'm bullshitting, 700,000-800,000. That's 1.25 million views I just lost by just not doing it, right? And when you think about it, when it's like at a higher level in your business, now that's 25% less leads, that's 25% less revenue, 25% less engagement, and that stuff could hit the bottom line. So that's why like content and ads, like even when it comes to ads, right? People say like, oh my God, like I'm gonna shut off the ads. Oh, we had a bad month. Why do you think that is?
like you're not running the same amount of traffic. And here's the thing, this is why I'm so big on ads and content, because the thing about it, if you're not posting and you're not running ads, how the hell do you expect people to find out about you? You're not ChatGPT. It's not gonna spread like wildfire like that. You know what I'm saying? So 3 to 5 times a day, yes, a day, doesn't have to be fancy. You can go ahead and schedule your posts. On Instagram natively, it only allows you to schedule up to 15. So post that, you have to either use the Meta Business Suite or a third-party app like Metrocool, Later, Affy. Well, actually, Affy doesn't work right now, but yeah, right? Most important, well, not most important, the content, how much you're posting on the content is most important, right? But the second most important thing is add a call to action if you're not running ads. That's a big difference, right? Call to action, so CTA's call to action is when you're directly telling the audience what to do, right? Why is this so important? Because people are stupid, right? So they're not going to assume they know what to do. It's the same thing when we talk about the IG bio optimization, right? You have to give them one clear description, one clear direction, right? DM us to book a tour. Text us to book a tour, call us to book a tour, right? Or else you're gonna either one, have all these messages all over the place, it's gonna be confusing, or two, people are just not gonna take an option because you gave them so many different things, right? It's kind of like when you go to the store and you see all these different types of bread, it's like, oh man, I don't know which one to do. But if they only have white bread and wheat bread, you're picking white bread or wheat bread, right? Cool. So with that being said, if you are running ads, you can let the ads be the call to action. What do I mean by that, right? So, and everybody who's in, Premiere, Blanche runs your ads, and so you don't have to really worry about that. But with that being said, right, the ads can be the call to action because the ads by default have a call to action. Whether it's send message, learn more, sign up, whatever the case may be. So you don't have to be pushy with your native organic audience on social because the ads are gonna do that for you. Does that make sense so far? Cool, right? This is actually something that I changed, so I'm gonna explain that. So before I said only start running Facebook ads if you can invest $3,000 a month, right? And I'm actually about to change that, right? Because truthfully, well, not truthfully, because why would I lie about that? But put it very directly, you don't need to front the whole $3,000 up front. Why do I know that, right? Typically, and this is just from looking at hundreds of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, but hundreds of dollars on one person's account, $1,000 on other people's account, whatever the case may be. Typically, you will get, and when we talk about ads, we'll get into that. Typically, anybody know what a cost per acquisition is? Cool. So cost per acquisition is that when you are running ads to something, you want to know what is that output, right? So say for example, for you guys, it's booked tours, right? So if one person has booked tours and they're getting them for $60 a book tour, and one person is getting them for $30 a book tour, who's gonna be able to scale faster? $30, right? So with that being said, cool. Now it's like, if I know that I'm spending $30 per booked tour, and I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but now if I'm getting $30 per booked tour, and I know that, okay, cool, I'm gonna close 20% of them, I can spend $150, get 5 tours, close 1, which is 20%, get a $1,000 deposit, $1,000 pays off the $150. Does that kind of make sense? Is it warm in here or is it just me? It's a little warm. Tanisha, can we see if we could turn on the AC, turn up the AC a little bit? Sorry, thanks. So with that being said, that's why it's not like we have to front the whole $3,000 a month, because if you do this right, and you don't have to worry about that because you have Baruch, right? If you do this right, you should, on average, we're seeing right now clients being able to put the money back from ads in 4 to 7 days. So you don't have to wait the whole 30. And I really want you guys to understand that, because it's just like, don't be scared of running ads. Don't. If you do it right, you will not be scared of running ads. Typically, when we start with ads, we like to start with $100 a day. Before it was 50, now it's 100, simply because we want the money to come back as soon as possible. That's like, you don't have to ever worry about leads when you have the right ad acquisition system. Ads are so important. Right now, I think, we spend probably, just for clarity and comparison, right now we're spending about $1,500 a day on ads. We scaled up, and we're going to be scaling up a little bit more, just we're adding more creatives and stuff like that. But 4 to 7 days, you can get that money back, and that should be your goal, right? Because think about it like this, right? Again, if I have my ad running day 1, right? Let's make some. I'll just do it in my head, right? Cool. So day 1, $100. Day 2, $100, that's $200. Day 3, $100, that's $300. Day 4, $100, that's $400, right? At that point, you should probably have about 8 to 10 tours, right? If 60% show up, that's what, 4 to 5? If you close 1, that's 20% close rate, that's 1 person. So I spent $400 in this scenario and I made $1,000. take the 1,000, put it, oh, but Brian, I have rent, I have this, I have that. Cool, that's just 1 week of data, right? That's just 1 week of data. That's 4 or 5 days of data. If you do it on a month and you do it at scale, it's a lot bigger now. And here's the thing, right? A lot of times we have to understand that this is what's fronting our business, right? Me personally, frankly, if I gotta look, if I'm thinking about, you know, not to say skip out on your rent or anything like that, but if I know for a fact that, okay, cool, I might be a little late on the rent, but I need this to be cooking, I'm picking this, because I know I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna put the money in the rent, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's worst case scenario, right? But I'm just saying, like, you gotta keep in mind, like, you're a business owner, you have to remember what's the engine of the business right now. Right? I don't care how much I feel about it, I will not stop posting on YouTube. I will not. I know that's the engine of the business. Half you probably wouldn't even be here if you didn't see a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like, you gotta understand what is the main thing in your business, which is why we have the venue scale flow. You have to know what to focus on, right? Cool. Funnel is optimized to book tours. We kind of spoke about that just now. The key thing, and the reason I'm so big on book tours versus direct message, and I'll talk about that when we talk about ads, and we'll talk about, we have another section where we'll be talking about it, right? But just to touch on this just a quick second, right? I used to be very big on direct message ads. All right, this was a few years ago. I used to be very big. We still talk about it, we still mention it, we still offer it, but I'm so much bigger on booked tours now, on direct to booked tours, simply because I need that data. I need that data. I need it. I need that first name, I need that last name, I need that phone number, I need that email, which is exactly why you guys go to all your funnels, what happens? They book a tour, they give that information, right? So it's so important, because I can't get that with direct message ads. You respond to somebody on DM, you get them to book a tour, whatever the case may be, that's the only time you get it. Then they opt when they go ahead and book a tour. But if I'm running it directly to the book a tour funnel, I'm getting all those leads immediately. Even if they don't book a tour, they still gotta opt in and put that first name, last name, email, phone number. I need that, because you might not be booking an event now, but you'll book an event later. You feel me? 100%. Cool. This is pretty self-explanatory, but you wanna be filling out Saturdays, getting a couple retainer bookings. Honestly, retainer bookings, like, they're cool, they help, they're great. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be my focus. It definitely wouldn't be my focus. My focus would be ads, content. Retainer bookings help. They support. They are secondary, right? You get a church, you get a school, you get a dance class. But here's from based on my experience, at a certain point, I'm gonna tell you a little story. So I had a church, they were paying me $350 a week to use the venue. So that's like what, $1,400 a month or whatever. Cool bread, whatever the case may be. Now it's like, okay, cool. Because you're a church, you come in on Sunday, I can't set up for my Sunday event until the actual event. That is a bottleneck for me. So now my team is coming in, they're rushing, it's sloppy, all this other stuff. So when you're at the beginning, foundation phase, it'll help. But as you grow, just keep in mind, you're probably gonna cut it. You just probably won't need it as much, right? Cool. Quick little water sip. Nice. How's this pace so far? Good? Nice.
Did you say Share Space was shut down?
Come again?
Did you say Share Space was shut down?
Shared space was shut down?
Or
Share Space? What?
No, Splacer.
Oh, Space.
Oh.
Splacer, yeah, it's a third-party booking site.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't work anymore. Peerspace still works, but I don't like. Here's the thing, like if I open up a venue tomorrow, I probably wouldn't even listen on Peerspace. I would go so hard on content and ads, so hard. Like I'd be posting every single day, I'd be hopping on every single trend, and I would just run ads, like literally just run ads. Like you'll get a ton. And here's the thing, right? The reason you want to be doing both is because of something called CPL. That's cost per lead, right? You're gonna notice. If you guys, whoever's running ads, you look at the data and whatnot, because I look at all the data, right? You'll notice, so if I have two venues, right? Venue 1 and venue 2. Venue 1 is posting content all the time, venue 2 is not. Venue 1 is gonna have a much lower CPL, cost per lead, than venue 2. Shake your head, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Which is why I say you will see the dip in your business when you're not on that motherfucking content. I'm telling you. I'm about to sign up on a whole other service just to increase our content even more, because it's like, it's so big, it's so important, right? It's like for any business, like nowadays, like content is everything, right? So with that being said, which is why we did the content engine and whatnot, right? So two venues, venue 1, venue 2, right? this venue is going to have significantly less CPLs than this venue, right? Which means significantly less booked tours. So if this venue has, a venue one that's posting content a lot has a $10 CPL, and this venue who has content, let's imagination, right? This venue has, next time, wait, is that a whiteboard?
What's going on, guys? Brian here. So I'm so sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to take this time to remind you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps push the video forward so we can get it out to more viewers like you that could really utilize this information. So if you could just take 2 seconds, there'll be a button right below, right next to my name that says subscribe. If you could just go ahead and do that, that's my only ask. That's the only thing I'm asking for. It just really helps the team. It just lets us know that the videos that we're going out are good quality and that they're really helping people. All right, so please do me a quick favor. Hit subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Back to the video.
We got venue 1, venue 2. We got CPL, cost per lead. We got CPA, cost per acquisition, right? So venue 1 is the content venue. Venue 2, non-content venue, right? So here we go, right? CPL, on average, they're posting content like crazy. They might get a CPL, let's say even $8, right? $8 per lead, right? Venue 2 might get a CPL of $16. I know, because I've been there, right? So now it's like, this is going to directly affect the cost per acquisition, which is the booked tour, right? That's the thing that we're optimizing for. We are optimizing for booked tours, right? For example, right? I remember when I went to, we're good? Yeah. Cool, thanks. I remember when I went to Darlene, App One's event, right? And she was just like, oh, you know, I'm scared to run ads and things like that. And I was just like, okay, how many tours are you doing on average? She's just like 2 to 3. And I'm like, imagine you had 20 to 30. Just get more booked tours, that's it. So if you're spending 40, 50 bucks a day, increase it, and like you're profitable. Like what are we talking about? But here's the thing, right? It's such a mental barrier to raise ad spend. I don't get it. I mean, I've been there, but it's such a mental barrier to raise ad spend because we think about it, we're just like, oh my God, like I don't want to go ahead and spend $200 a day, $300 a day. This is what's bringing you the money. Simple, right? So that's why I warn a lot of but I encourage a lot of new entrepreneurs to look at it this way because this is what's running your business. It's simple math, which is why we're breaking down the fundamentals, and I want you guys to look at your business as numbers instead of emotion. That's what it's about, right? Cool, $8 and $16 CPL, right? So now with a CPA, I might get CPAs of about, let's say, 30 bucks, right? Depending on the cost and the funnel and things of that nature, whole other conversation. This one might get 60 bucks. Why? Double, right? Cool. So now with this being said, if I go to 10 people, if I have to get 10 people to show up to my venue, or excuse me, not even show up to the venue, to get 10 people to book a tour with my venue, I have to spend $300, right? For 10 booked tours, right? In this case, I have to spend $600. You see how big the numbers are already separating? I'm already out the gate. Before people even show up to my venue, I'm paying way more than this guy just because he's focusing on this, right? So now let's look at it when it comes down to revenue, right? So now, okay, cool. 10 people, let's say we get a 60% show up rate. So that's what, 6 people. So 6 people actually go to the venue. So I have 6 people to go ahead and show up, right? 6 people to go ahead and show up, but we went ahead, I lost my train of thought. 300, 600, 6 people show up, right? Cool. So in each case, 6 people show up, right? But in this case, I spent 300. This case, I spent 600, right? So now in this case, right, if I go ahead and get one person to go ahead and book, let's say they put down $1,000 deposit, this one, $700 in profit, this one, only $400 in profit. Big difference already. Big difference already. Huge difference already, right? And just think about this at scale. This is only 10 tours. You see what I'm saying? And that's how the numbers just kind of compound and compound and compound. Imagine this was a difference of spending $3,000 and spending $6,000, right? Because when you're a venue going up to the second stage, $20,000, $30,000 a month, you might be spending something like that. That's the big difference. That's why these numbers creep up so fast, right? So going back to this, right? Oh, Yeah, y'all do your thing. Cool, right? So going back to this, that was so convenient, right? So going back to this, right? You want to start building that personal brand out the gate. That's why as soon as you guys get the venue, and even when it comes down to like the boot camp and stuff like that we're doing, we're having people start their Instagrams as soon as possible, right? Going down to the IG bio optimization, right? We talked about this before, right? 3 things: who you are, who you serve, how you serve them, right? This is so big. I know for a couple of you guys when I did the Premiere audit, that's the first thing that we did. The name right here, not the username, the actual name should always be the area you are, event space. It's search engine optimized, right? So you're probably wondering, oh my God, my venue, I want it to show up in Google. Instagram shows up in Google. You type in Brian Waldron, my Instagram is on the first page, right? So with that being said, you want to have your venue search engine optimized. I remember I was talking to Ann, she's like, a lot of people find out follow me on Google. Yeah, because of that, right? Search engine optimization works with lead flow, with link clicks. So the more people who are going to your website, and this is just a funny hack, right? Back in 2019, I literally got my venue to the first page on Google when people type in Brooklyn Event Space just by spamming link clicks to my website. I literally created like 30 emails. It's not gonna work now. I tried it, believe me, it's not gonna work now, right? But I literally created like 30 Gmails, gave myself a whole bunch of reviews, did a whole bunch of link clicks, and it moved all the way up to the first page, right? That's how powerful search engine optimization is, right? Cool, right? Again, it's not gonna work now. It is what it is, right? Cool. So I like to do all white canvas, and you guys could just screenshot this or whatever the case may be. I'm not gonna take a lot of time, right? Second line, I like to do number of people standing or the amount of square foot. Typically number of people standing because not everybody understands what 3,000 square foot looks like. Super important, decor packages available. Super important, decor packages available. Super important, decor packages available because not everybody knows. Here's the thing, right? We're gonna talk about the EC pre-sold tour system in a little bit. There's a reason why certain venues sell a lot more packages. It's not by accident, it's by design, right? You want to see these things from the beginning, right? You want to put it in their mind. Oh, they offer decor. So now it's like, okay, because a lot of people when they plan an event, they're like, oh, I gotta get a venue, I gotta get a decorator, I gotta get a DJ, I got a caterer, I gotta get a decorator. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't need a decorator. Decor packages available, all right? Cool. Last thing, very, very important. DM to book a tour today. It's not DM, phone number, email, smoke signal, pigeon, like one call to action. DM to book a tour today, right? And for you, it might not be DM, it might be text, it might be call, whatever it is. Just keep it clean and keep it one thing, all right? Cool.